I'm Subhalakshmi from Madurai Medical College. So this video is about learning strategies for NEET UG. And before going into this video, I would like to say that not every strategy works effectively for every people because everyone is unique. And this time is when you'll be flooded with lots of advices about this. So whichever thing you feel is effective and is comfortable for you, please do follow that. Time. So the whole day, in order to use it effectively, I have divided into the test time and the prep time. So during test time, what we'll be doing is we'll be taking up tests. So which we'll be dealing in detail next. So the timing is test time is invariably 2 to 5 p.m. for all, according to my strategy. And then preparation time can be either in the morning or in the night, whichever time you feel is comfortable. The test time. So, what are the requisites for taking up this test? So, minimum 10 tests when you take up during these 20 days which you have will surely improvise your marks. So, what are the things needed is the question paper. For the questions, use past year papers with solutions, and that is very essential. So, without solution, you just can't keep writing tests. And then OMR sheets. So this part is a very essential thing as during this lockdown many of us would have lost touch with the offline practice, right? So kindly download OMR files and take a printout of that so that will be handy during your exam. And timing plan. Before you take up the exam in your home, make a rough plan of how much time you would be taking for each subject. Now, during exam, as I said, the main aim of my video is to emphasize only on the test time. So, how you take up the test. So, that will be 2 to 5. So, this is nothing but to condition our mind. Being a biology student, we all know how condition reflex works, right? So, our original timing will be 2 to 5 p.m. So, when you train your mind to take up tests during this time, you eventually gain more confidence and more effective speed while doing the test. And this is my arbitrary timing for the test. So, you can do your own timing so that will keep you in track of your progress. Now, during exam, so now your question paper is ready, your OMR is ready, your timing is set, now everything is ready. Now what to do during an exam? So the first thing which you have to do very meticulously in NEET exam is filling your details, right? Since it's an OMR based exam, you have to do your details manually. So that is most important. And next, coming to attempting questions. So for the key to any exam is a confidence, right? So when you're becoming more confident, your success is assured. So attempt the direct and easily answerable ones first and do not linger on the very lengthy ones, right? So sometimes we tend to take a very long time with few questions. So be very cautious about that. And do not attempt unknown questions. So we all know that for every correct answer we have +4 and for every wrong answer -1. So, from my personal experience, I say that even one question, if you're getting wrong, your ranks tend to degrade by about 50. So, that do not attempt unknown questions. And then coming to the shading. So, though you may be well prepared, though you may be very confident with your answers, shading matters a lot. That is because the question you are writing and the question you are shading should coincide, right? So, be very cautious about that. And then coming to the question data. So we know that we don't have additional sheets, so you have to do it the rough work at the back of the question paper. So you tend to get a little confused, right, with the numericals. So be very careful with the question data. Check before you take the data and start to work out. And then solve it conceptually. And this year, since NEET, AIMS, and JIPMER have been merged together, there's a lot of scope for the conceptual solving. So be thorough with your concepts and apply it conceptually. And then, which questions tend to confuse us is mostly the true and false. There'll be questions like which of the following is true, which of the following is not true. So during that time, I would recommend to underline. So underline the keyword which they have asked, whether it is the true or the not true, and then proceed to the options. And assertion reason is not usually present in the NEET, but also try to solve such questions also, since this year there might be some changes. And then coming to the match type. So this is also one more tricky thing because we tend to get confused with the options. So these are the three things which we should be very very meticulous while doing. And one more things which make NEET easy is the MCQ part, right? A little more easier. So you can try to find the correct option by elimination. So do try that. And the main element is stick to time, right? So now we have taken an exam in the home. So 2 to 5, 3 years, you have solidly written the exam and you have completed. So what to do with this test? So how will it help me? That's what is your doubt, right? So try to answer these questions after you score your exam. Were you able to manage time? So this is the first question. And the second one is, were you able to recollect? So despite all your hard preparations, it would be a fail if you were not able to recollect or remember the facts which you have read. And the most important thing is, so whatever tests you take up in home, so do not take these scores to your head, because sometimes it might be really high or really low. So these are just to make yourself know where you are standing and to analyze your strengths and weakness. Now, so you have find out your mark. Now what to do with that next? So make a note of your mistakes. So take up a note, split into three: physics, chem, and bio. Keep a record of the tests you write. So I said about minimum of 10 full paper tests you can take up within these 20 days, right? So for each subject, note like a hint, note down the concept where you have gone wrong and try to learn that first. For example, in physics, I'm getting a question wrong in SHM. So first solve that question, find the correct answer, and then revisit that lesson. Learn all formulas related to that and also solve questions related to that. So this applies to all three subjects. And the main thing is find the area of weaknesses where you lose wrong. Sometimes we might know the formula, we might know how to do it, but always there'll be some lag in few aspects, right? So find where you go wrong. For example, in kinetics or mechanics, maybe sometime you get the direction wrong. So work on it, right? And the outcome, as I said earlier, the main aim is to get habituated. So the exam already is a little bit stressing. So if you try to sit for 3 years after a long break, so that will be a little difficult. So when you take up these tests, you will tend to get eased in that scenario. So you will feel very confident and your speed increases. So do work on. And now coming to a prep time. So we have seen how to do a test time in the evening. So morning fully you will be having your time. So that time you can utilize it for your preparation. So the main thing is first things first. That is, whichever topic is has most priority and weightage, do it first, right? And these three things I wanted to do it as soon as you see the video or whenever you feel like doing, because they come very handy and very useful, right? So prepare a formula book and also include mathematical formulas like log 2, log 3 and all trigonometric conversions. Also the conversions in chemistry and physics like the units. So make a formula book for that, or you could simply browse from the net and have it handy. And also make a checklist for subjects. So it would be a little befuddled from where to start, which lesson should I start. So just take a list of all the lessons in your portion for all three subjects. make a checklist. So while you complete your test time, so you'll be learning a few concepts. So the next day you can work on your weakness or the important subjects which you think has more weightage. So make a checklist. Once you're confident, make a tick mark. So this will really bring you more confidence. And then subject wise preparation tips is that, so all these days you would have learned, you would have read it single line by line. So now the time is short. So what I recommend is do a recollection based learning, right? Try to recollect. For example, you're taking a lesson in hormones. So what to do is, before opening your book, take a note. Just do a small flow chart or a summary within 5 minutes. Whatever you remember, just note it down, right? So while doing that, you'll be identify your areas lagging, which fact you were not able to remember. And then very important is diagrams and tabular columns. We know that in AIMS and JIPMA, diagrams play a very crucial role. So please do not overlook them. Do learn it. And for not a single lesson, do not spend much time and learn concepts that are really very important. Read by line and application aspects very important. And do not switch between resources, right? You have a lot of books stocked. You'll be like very puzzled which to follow. So just learn from the book which you really feel confident and you have been learning all these days. And do not forget NCRT. That's the principal book for all these competitive exams. Now, physics and chemistry, the same. Try to recollect. First, learn the concept. You cannot just apply formulas so merely by learning it. So, you have to learn the concept where to apply, and some scenarios and exceptions will be having where you cannot apply a particular formula. So, be thorough where to apply and where not to, and the applications, and especially like fluid mechanics and surface tension, few topics will be there like that. So whenever you take the test time, note it down in your mistakes. What is the common mistake I do? For example, you miss 2t by r or t by r. Wherever you miss, just make highlight those points, right? So solve MCQs daily. Keep in touch with all the three subjects. And for chemistry, do not leave NCRT in text questions, right? And then some formulas are common for both physics and chemistry, but the signs differ, right? So they differ. So have a look at that and be cautious while applying that also. And the units and angles given, whether you have to convert it to SI unit or whether you have to leave it same. So be thorough with what they have asked. And finally, stay calm and give your best shot. A healthy mind resides in a healthy body. So hydrate yourself well and have ample sleep. So all the very best. If you can dream it, you can really do it. All the very best. Thank you.